And then I will also stream to Facebook, and then we can get started here. And let's just make sure that I can do this now.
I'm bending over so you can see my photography behind me. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Jen's just doing all the background stuff to get us onto Facebook. And then it'll be a minute. And as soon as we tell you we're live, then we'll do a little intro. Jen will do a little intro and explain what we're doing today.
Okay.
Okay, and the other thing I said, my service person has come and gone, so I'm here.
Wonderful.
We'll just unmute you until you're ready.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay, we're live on Facebook.
I think you have to mute Vivian for the moment.
No, well, it's okay. We're live on Facebook, and welcome.
I said my service person has come and gone.
There we go.
Okay,
I have to mute Facebook and mute my Facebook. Okay, welcome everyone. We are now live on Facebook. We're streaming into the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Facebook group, and we have a wonderful, lovely set of ladies with us today who are part of the Profit by Design Academy, and they are all alumni. They've done the course, they've done the work, and today they're here to share their stories with us in terms of how they came into our course, how they've transformed, how they enjoyed the course material, the camaraderie, everyone in the course, the community, and then also part of the coaching program as well, and just everything that they've got out of the Profit by Design Academy, because we are opening the doors. Well, the doors are opening for enrollment, and they are closing soon for the summer of 2022, and we'll be reopening later on in the fall. But today we want to share their stories with you so that if you're on the fence or inspired to come into the Profit by Design Academy, here are some wonderful testimonials for you. So we've got Melissa, we've got Michelle, and we've got Vivian, and welcome ladies.
Thank you.
And feel free to put questions in the chat, and so that you can even directly ask people on the live call anything that you might be interested in knowing in terms of their own experiences. In the meantime, these ladies are going to just give their own stories and how they've experienced the Profit by Design Academy. But this is an interactive session. It's not just a speaking at you session. So please, in the chat, make sure that you get a chance to comment. And if you want to comment after, because you're not watching this live, please do so. And we will be manning the chat and helping you with your questions.
So welcome. And Elka was talking about on Facebook. What?
Do you want me to look at Facebook and man the chat?
Okay, I've got it open here. Okay. So who would like to go first? And it's all for free for all. You can unmute and just start talking.
Vivian has to go soon, right? So maybe she's first.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, actually, my person came and gone, but that's just fine. I'll go. It's very interesting when you look at the three of us. It kind of gives you a sense that this group is really from all over the world and with all different levels of experience. And that makes it even more interesting. Okay, I'll just give you a little background. I probably got into this group because photography was a hobby for many years. And then from photography, about 7 or 8 years ago, I became fascinated with Photoshop. And when I then found several Facebook groups where on a daily basis I could post, my Photoshop works, and it was grand. And one of the ladies suggested, why don't I convert some of them to cards and you could sell them? And so I looked around and I found Zazzle, and about 3 years ago, I started selling cards. And then about 1.5 years ago, somehow I fortunately stumbled on the Clark videos, and I started watching the free videos and realized there was a lot to learn that I did not know. And I took a 3-day class because I do have also a background in teaching. And I wanted a sense of comfort about what I could potentially learn from the class. And after I took this 3-day class, I felt very assured about the structure and the real desire to have us learn. And so last July, I signed up and began my new, my new way of looking at this. And I have clearly learned an incredible amount. Okay, I'll stop there. Other people can talk and I'll be glad to come back. How's that?
Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you, Vivian, for sharing. And it's wonderful to hear your background story. And yes, Vivian has been with us for quite some time now and definitely learned a lot. And I love Vivian.
And she's one of the few that's completed the course completely, which is so important because the course is actually all the strategies. And if you don't do all of the course, you can't do all the strategies. And our session, even yesterday, kept saying you have to do all 5 strategies, otherwise it doesn't work. Sorry.
Well,
Yeah.
also Vivian is just wonderful in terms of her showing up and asking questions, and then also providing wonderful feedback too, because she also has experience in like motivational speaking, self-help, and all those things. And so when she comes to our coaching sessions, she always adds some wonderful advice as well. So yeah, it's wonderful to have Vivian with us.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah, can I add one more thing? You know me, I'm always talking. To that point, one of my motivations for really working through the course is I wanted to get to the point where I could see it all come together, because it comes all together. And then it really gives you a sense of direction and an understanding as to what exactly you should be doing on an ongoing basis. So that was part of my, rush to the finish line, as it were. Okay, I'll be quiet for a minute.
Okay, who wants to go next? Michelle or Melissa? Who wants to jump in?
Melissa, you go.
Yes,
I was going to see Graham because you got to the mute first.
Yeah.
But hi, I'm Melissa. I started on Zazzle really early, like 2007. And I was on Zazzle for 10 years before I came to the Clark courses, but I wasn't taking it seriously as a business. It was more of a casual side site because I was doing stock illustration on the stock photography sites. And people from those sites went, hey, there's something called Zazzle. We could go over there and maybe make a little bit more money than we're making on the stock sites. And we all went over there, but we didn't know what we were doing. We just basically did the exact same thing we were doing on stock photography sites. We'd put our images on a product. We'd keyword it with, at that time, like 50 keywords of absolutely everything that could ever be part of the image. And then we just leave it. We go, somebody will find this, it'll be fine. Apparently not quite on Zazzle. But in the stock photography area, I was trying to figure out, how do I learn more about stock illustration and build this into more of a business? And I started to see business information sites saying, you really need to get a mentor. You need to go have somebody who's already done this, who understands what you need to do, who can help you through this so that you can not just accelerate your business, but just generally get it going. And I was in stock photography illustration in that area, and there wasn't anyone. There was no one helping to really build what you were doing. And I went over to the Zazzle site, and on the forums, I saw a very small post, maybe about 3 sentences saying, we've got a course. You can get mentoring. Click this link. I went, yes, that's the thing I was looking for. I clicked the link. It was the old school version of the course. It was, I think, the 7 days to success to start your store, followed by, it wasn't, it might have been called a master class at that point, but you could do the first one and then you could go into the second. But yes, I want this. And I basically grabbed my credit card, put it in, it's like, I want this course. I want to do this thing. And I got there and I have not been disappointed since. I've learned so much about what I need to do, what I didn't even realize I needed to do. And really coming from more of an art background, learning the business aspects of things, which were really foreign to me in the things that you have to set up, learning to do real analysis of your products. And it's been so important to me as I've been progressing through the program. I made a little bit over $700 on my own in 10 years on Zazzle as I was doing it casually. And since I started the courses, I've now made over $15,000 in the courses. So that's a huge difference between trying to casually do this on my own and then actually learning what to do and now starting to internalize it. And I'd say one more thing about my journey on Zazzle is that I've enjoyed the programs and what I've learned so much that I'm now on staff. So if you're interested in joining the PDA, I'll be one of the people who's welcoming you into the program, sending out little images saying, welcome so-and-so to the Profit by Design Academy. I'm learning myself, but I'm also really excited to help you grow and build your business. And I may celebrate your successes a little bit more than you imagine. I may sometimes have little quiet dance parties for you that you never see. So trade secret. Yeah, sometimes I'm more excited for you when you win than you are. So yeah, the Profit by Design Academy.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Thank you. It just sums it all up. I can't say anything else. Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you so much, Melissa.
Yeah, I
And
remember when
we hire from within, which is another really important part because we want to make sure that everyone's gone through all the training, that they've had their own experience. And as Melissa so eloquently put, you have to have that understanding, that belief of the stress and struggle, and then the understanding of the success. And that will help our team help you more than if it was just that someone, learned something in terms of this is what you say to the customer. And we are building a community of empowered people all across the world that are going to continue to help and give back to others. That's our motto. And it's really exciting that this is growing from something that we thought of when I'm sitting here. We're broadcasting from my living room. Because of COVID, I haven't gotten an office again, but yeah, it just happened here in the living room. And this is literally the spot where I used to have a desk. We've switched it around now, but this is where I had a desk and I sat here for years trying to make sure that I could make some money on the Zazzle platform. And that's when this is where I sat when I realized, hey, I'd only made $90 in my first year. It's where I was mortified when I realized I'd only made $2,300 in my second year. And I'm going like that. And it's also where I said, that's enough. And I'm going to figure this out. And then when I figure it out, and if I'm successful, I'm going to give it all back. And that's what we're doing with the Profit by Design Academy and also our other training that we have. And we're just, Melissa said it, we're more thrilled for your success than our own sometimes. And that is the true essence of what we want to build here as a community and as a way to help you in your life situation, wherever you are in the world. So yeah, that's my soapbox speech, but I mean it. And I have to stop now because I'm going to get choked up and get dry.
Okay, who would like to go next? Michelle, Lynn Marie, welcome. Hello.
Okay, so I came into this from a craft background and I made things with my hands, and I just kept thinking that with technology and computers and things now, there must be an easier way for me to make money, and I would be able to transition my creativity from working with my hands to the computer. That was a mission, but I found Zazzle and I started and was completely lost. But luckily, about a month later, I came across Elke and Jen's ebook, and that started me following them, and the rest is history. Made a huge difference to my life from every point of view. I have so much more confidence than I had, learned so much, still got long way to go, but it doesn't daunt me because I have all the support I need. And that's the wonderful thing about this group, the PDA group, is when you do the course, but there's constant support every week. There's a different meeting about something, and it stops you from falling by the wayside. And I think a lot, because we're creative people and we work on our own, you don't get that boost from other people. And very often your family and friends don't understand what you're doing anyway. So to do it this way, you are with a community of people, you're constantly learning, you're constantly being enthusiastically cheered on. Look at Melissa, she's fantastic. And it keeps you buoyant, it keeps you moving forward, keeps you motivated, keeps you learning. And the group, we are very encouraging of each other. We're all trying to do the same thing. We don't want to support each other to get there. There's nobody trying to get on top of anybody else. We're trying to all be lifted up at the same time together. So finding this group, finding Elke and Jen has made a huge, huge difference to my life. And I wouldn't be without this group, this course, all of this learning. That's it.
Thank you so much, Melissa. I'm not Melissa, Michelle. I was looking at Melissa. I was just thinking also in terms of when we first met Michelle in person and also Melissa, Michelle came to Mallorca. And I remember that Mom sent her, Elke sent her an email personally to invite her to our retreat in Mallorca. And for some reason, Elke had to use the washroom right as soon as Michelle was coming through the gates. And Michelle saw, I was waiting for Michelle, and Elke was like, I need to use the washroom really quickly. I know that Michelle's coming, but I'll be back before she gets here. And then all of a sudden she runs off, and the washroom was all the way down at the end of the airport. And then, so I'm standing at the gates, and then I see Michelle, and I've only seen her on Zoom. And so I don't know what her whole body looks like. And she comes running out and she gives me the biggest hug. And yeah, that was just such a magical moment that she was like, I'm so nervous, but I'm so excited to be here. And then also Michelle and Melissa, Michelle and Melissa, and then Melissa came to Australia with us, which is really fun. So those are actually the only two ladies on this Zoom call that we've met in person, which is quite fun. But hopefully, because COVID now is getting better, that we can have a retreat in person at some point. But
formulating in my brain already that we got to meet somewhere. So we have to have a big group, and we're all going to just have loads of fun. But yeah, again, Melissa came to the Australian Mastermind just before COVID.
Yeah,
and she found us on the beach. And then as soon as and she goes like, I'm ready, I'm going in the water. She pulls up her pants and rolls them up, and she starts going in the water.
And she didn't even have her bathing suit on at that point. She's like, we're just going in.
Yeah. And then we both almost got swept away in the water. So Melissa and I are soulmates now anyway, because we helped each other not get swept into the whatever that ocean is, tidal wave, because we were really strong.
And that's one of those other things, especially from that trip. When I started to really lose my footing, I reached out to grab your arm, and you didn't go, yikes, what is this? You came for a retreat. It's like, no, you let me hold on, and you grabbed back, and I was already 100% in for the program. But when you did that, when you reached back, I thought, okay, I'm 100% in the right place with the right people. I may be completely exhausted from this plane flight, but I am exactly where I need to be as soon as I step out of this ocean and don't get pulled away by the tide. And it all worked out.
It all worked out. Yep.
And to see the progression of all of you ladies, and then especially Michelle too, because when she first met us in Mallorca, she said that she was very nervous about even just doing all the tech. Like she comes from the background of actually physically making products and being very artistic in the sense of using her hands. And so I remember where she was just very hesitant about the fact that she could succeed and do all the tech. And now she does all the tech, and then also has learned how to scan her images into the computer and uses them, and they're all her unique designs, and it's wonderful to see her progression as well. And
just instead of buying a graphic, she goes, I can do this with watercolor, and then she's scanning it in, and she's got all these really unique images, and it's just huge transformation. And we're so excited for every one of them, people that are on here. We know their stories. We're so excited for each person, because that's part of what the Zazzle platform is, the common denominator, but everyone else, everyone's on their own journey, and everyone's using Zazzle the way they need to use Zazzle, which is so cool. right? It's not, and then the way the PDA set up is that it gives you the structure, but it doesn't say you have to make this image in order to make a cell. It's always everyone's unique qualities are the things we're showcasing and developing and pushing to make successful on the platform. And I think that's the cool part, because that's what Zazzle's all about, is all these unique things that people are coming to see and check out. And it's not a cookie cutter, you know, thing like Amazon where you have to do, you know, everything in, you know, I don't want to say anything to make anything copyright issue, but you know, where there's certain things that are selling and certain things that are not unique. The Zazzle platform is so unique that everything can sell if you market it properly, and everything is something sellable if you, you know, create that demand for it. And that's part of why we have the Profit by Design Academy set up in that way, that there's initially it was just a course, but we felt that not everyone was finishing it like Vivian, and also that we needed that support, that constant reminder that, hey, your stuff is good, just have to position it differently. And then also, what is it that's good here that you can leverage? And by having that coaching program and the ability to meet once a week and talk about various different things, one-time mindset, one-time skill set building, one-time strategy of your business, one-time just, hey, let's get through the course. What do I need to do? And how do I get supported? Those are the 4 areas that we touch on every month. And because of that, as those are all live, people can ask questions. And it's so exciting to see each person develop at their own pace and at their own time, but get the support they need when they need it and at the level that they need it, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who's next? 2 more people came on. Welcome, Denise. Welcome, Lynn Marie. Who wants to say something next?
I'll go.
I'll just say one more thing.
Vivian, okay, sorry.
One more thing. When I look around, people should also know that we come in all different ages and stages in our life. And I think that's very important. You're never too young. Look at is it Claire's daughter who has a who has a site, and you're never too old. I'm probably old enough to be Melissa's grandmother. But it's, you know, it's at whatever you can't think I'm either not ready or I'm beyond being ready. Okay, it's really it's whatever is in you that says I need to give this a try, and with this support, you know, maybe I won't make it, but I'll never make it if I don't try. That's the biggest piece to it. Am I old enough to be your grandmother, Melissa? Yes.
No, you are not. No.
Okay. All right, that's it for a second. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good segue for me, because I remember in the what were the early days for, I think for you, Vivian, when I first met you, we had a similar conversation. It was like, you know, no, it's not too late. I just retired, and I don't think anyone should think that, oh, well, I'm, you know, X number of years old, it's too late for me to start because it would take years to build it up. Well, it'll take years, but you know, if I had not started, I would be the same age I am, but I just wouldn't have an income from Zazzle. And it's made all the difference. In fact, I have, at this point, as of this year, I am replacing my former full-time teaching income with my Zazzle income. So I am so glad that I made that choice. It's the Social Security that's my hobby. those checks are my, like, you know, extra income. But Zazzle is pretty much replacing my full-time income, which is, if you'd asked me 5 years ago, I would have said, yeah, I hope it will, but I didn't really see a clear path to it until I started going through the programs that Jen and Elka offered from the very beginning, like Melissa, with the 7-day course that was, you know, for very beginners, and then on through the other courses that they offered, including the Profit by Design Academy. So yeah, if anyone is on the fence because they think they're too old or too young. That you made a great point, Vivian, that no, that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse at all. Okay, so let's see, what else can I tell you? The retirement piece. Oh, and just top of mind because it just happened recently. One of my, and it turned out to be a very simple design, but one of my designs was featured on the Today Show for a Father's Day roundup the other day. And speaking of Melissa, I just saw that she gave me some wonderful advice elsewhere, and so thank you, Melissa. I'll try to follow up on some of those suggestions. But everyone in this group helps everyone else. There's no holding back. There's no oh, it might not let me make the kinds of sales I want. Everyone is generous with their advice, and it's not a zero-sum game. It's everyone is lifting everyone else up, and it's a very generous community, and I'm really grateful for that. So let's see, what else? Anything else that I can add that I'm overlooking here?
What else? Is there anything in terms of the comments? And thank you so much for
I've
telling
been
about the
looking
Today
at,
Show. How
yeah,
exciting.
I've actually found, I don't know if this is it, but I found a video online where they've done this. So what was your product that you
gonna screen
featured?
share?
Oh, it's an apron. It's a flippin' awesome apron. And I added personalization to it. So there are a bunch of different versions of it in different colors and with or without personalization.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, fabulous. Well, we'll find that and make sure we really
Yeah.
showcase that.
Somebody actually asked me in the chat today, they wanted to start carrying it and buying it wholesale. And I said, well, you'll have to talk to Zazzle about that, because I don't know if they offer that a wholesale option. But he wanted to like buy a ton of them and do his own retail of them. So, well, at least that's interest. I don't know if that's something they do, but somebody's interested in them, and so it's great exposure.
We're always like, people can always do that actually by buying them at the price that you're offering, and then they store at a markup or something.
Yeah,
like
he sounded like he was interested in some kind of wholesale discount, and I said I can't do that, but that he's interested to begin with is an offshoot of the publicity, which is great. And I think I attribute part of it, the design itself is pretty simple, and there are similar ones out there, and I attribute part of its success to the tags and description, and one of the things that Elka and Jen teach so well that I don't always follow, but I'm trying to go back and improve, is using the right kinds of tags to get your products found. And you can have the greatest product in the world, and if you haven't used your titles and tags strategically in the way that they teach, then it's just going to sit there and not be found. So that's one of the wonderful things that they teach, in addition to design advice and strategy, overall large strategy, business strategy, mindset, all of those things that go into their courses, especially the Profit by Design Academy, have been really, really helpful.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, I'm so like, this is so like, it's not even unexpected, because there's so many other people that have done and had these types of experiences. So this is so exciting, right? Because you're not just a seller on a Zazzle platform as a no-name. We help you within the Profit by Design Academy to create that image and brand image, and that can get you beyond the Zazzle platform, right? But Zazzle's almost your launching point, and then you can become a brand in itself that can attract So anything that you want in terms of product placement in movies, getting reviews on TV shows like the Today Show,
Yeah.
awesome, awesome, awesome. Or getting some positions in certain things, like some of our other clients have had contracts with Pottery Barn, and what is the kids version of that? I can't remember now. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So yeah, some people move from licensing to Zazzle, but others actually find contracts that they can make from Zazzle to get licenses and expand their business beyond the Zazzle platform. So super, super exciting.
I think
Jennifer's gotten, we've totally lost her. She's looking at all the Today Show stuff. She's
wait,
found it.
I found
Is
it.
it Gavin's flipping awesome with the spatulas?
Yeah. Okay, here, I'll show it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, just
So-
show it, because why not?
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Want to celebrate your success.
So this is
So there
he's
we
a
go.
chef, and he's wearing, so here, I'll just,
So this is Denise's design.
on the Today Show, there you go. And then, so the personalized hat, and then it goes to, and it shows the apron too. I don't, here, well, very cool.
Well,
Very
congratulations, Denise. This is what comes, you just don't even know what the possibilities are. And this is what lights us up anyways. All these exciting things, right? The sales, the recognition, the empowerment, that people can do things that they didn't think they could do. The transformation in their entire, like, it translates not just within the Zazzle platform and doing the business, but it translates into your life. All of a sudden, you're more excited about doing something, or you're willing to do something. And that just, I'm speechless, because that's what this is all about, right? It's partly making money, but mostly what can happen in your life that didn't happen before, that can kind of really be cool and light you up. So
Mhm.
Yeah. I think it's also helped some of my friends be more aware of what it is I do now that I'm retired, and those who did know, to realize it's more than just a silly little hobby. So that helps too.
Yes.
I love it. I always keep thinking, well, why can't we be a brand like Anne Klein, or whatever? It's they just started at zero. Why can't we, right? And Zazzle gives us that platform to do that if we want to dream that big. Look at Grumpy Cat. Look at and also it's really interesting. There's a couple other ones, but Grumpy Cat's a really good example of how they started on, like, they use Zazzle. I don't know if they only use Zazzle. I don't know the entire history, but Grumpy Cat in itself, if you go look up net worth of Grumpy Cat, that's quite a bit of money. And they were selling on the Zazzle platform before they, I think even someone bought the license and their to the name for quite a bit of money, some sort of rapper or something. Anyway, don't quote me on that, but as you hear bits and pieces, and it's cool because it just started out on Zazzle, and you never know where it can lead you to. Lynn Marie, we'll have to watch the time. So Lynn Marie, would you like to?
No, I can just say a few things in my experiences as a member of the Profit by Design Academy, and as a coach and all. I think there's so many good things that people have already talked about. I'm sorry, was a little late, but touching on titles and tags, I think what a lot of folks don't realize, that the little snippet we give them in their free introduction to the 5 mistakes is just a tiny, tiny bit of what you would get anyway if you come into the Profit by Design Academy. Because titles and tags are so nuanced within the marketplace, we have to teach you how to dissect everything and put it back together to make the winning title and tags that will get you in front of eyeballs. So it's not just cut and dry. There's a lot of nuances that we teach in the Profit by Design Academy about that particular subject. Not even nearly as what we teach you about design. I mean, design is everything, so. And touching a little bit of the creatives that we have, we all came in obviously with different avenues, but to take that uniqueness that you have and to build it out in ways that you've not thought of before, I think is invaluable. I don't think you can put a money, a price on that education, basically. I was thinking Michelle's Tree of Life, which is basically, it's a mosaic. It's a physical mosaic with tiny little pieces of tiles. And what she did with that would just blew me away. And so that's on that front. There's so many pieces of this puzzle we call Profit by Design Academy. It's ever reaching. And as a student of, I don't know how many years I've been with you guys, I'm always learning something. And even things change, like, oh, we used to do it that way. Oh, but we have to do it that way now, this kind of thing. There are things that change, certain topics that change because something has changed on the platform or whatever. So it's an ever evolving kind of thing. And, we're here to help our clients navigate that. And I will spend all day with you if you want to talk about, your title and tags or your categories, and you keep sending me stuff on the Kajabi platform. I'll keep explaining it a different way so it clicks in your head. I have no problem with that. Because there are some people that can grasp things really quickly, and then some people have a hard time with that abstract thinking because some of it is very abstract. So those are the kind of things that I think the program really brings to your Zazzle business. Basically, if you have the drive, even if you're lacking that abstract thinking, if you have the drive to say, I don't get it, you need to tell me again. I don't get it. You need to tell me again. We're here to do that. And then that light bulb is going to go off and you're going to be like, oh, I got it. And then you just move on. It's the most interesting thing to see as a coach. And there's so much to learn. And we just love, like Melissa said, I caught that. She does her happy dance where we're all doing the happy dance. It's all like, woohoo, like, woohoo, Vivian got her golf ball on the front page, that kind of thing. I remember that excitement in the back room. So, yeah, it's really worth the time and the effort if you really want to make money on Zazzle and, grow personally as well as financially, because you do grow personally. I haven't even mentioned the mindset work, but you do grow personally just from achievement or finding that block that makes you stop from achieving that financial goal. One of those times that you listen to Elka or Jen, it's gonna click and you're gonna go, oh, I've got to stop doing that. I've got to rearrange how I think about this now. And it changes. It is a personal life experience, basically. So I won't go any farther because you're running close to your time, but.
Well, thank you so much, Lynn Marie. It's just, yeah, first of all, my cheeks hurt from smiling so much, but it's very true. Everything that everybody said, and especially Lynn Marie now at the end, where you said you grow as not only on your business, but personally as well. And I find that I've also grown. Elka and I are like the Zazzle experts, the face of the brand and everything, but we grow each and every day, learning from you and helping you. And it's just wonderful to have you all within our space and to see you grow too, and to hear your success stories and to see where you've started and where you are now and where you're going to go in the future. The sky is the limit. And Lynn Marie, she spoke and she said she's a coach. We didn't actually introduce her. She also works with us as Team Clark. And so she's part of one of the ladies who will give you your critiques and help you in the back end of the Profit by Design Academy course, and is part of our, as I said, Team Clark. And she's a wonderful asset to ours, as well as Melissa. And it's
she's been with us since 2017 when we first started. She took the initial course and kept going through everything and done several masterminds. All of the people who work with us are overqualified.
Yeah. And yeah, no, I'm just very happy with everyone. And it doesn't matter where you are in your Zazzle journey, how much money you're making. Obviously, we're all here to build our businesses and to make money. That's the whole point of the Profit by Design Academy and the 5 strategies. But just the overall experience that you get, as Marie said, the life journey. You're here on this amazing transition of whether that be through your e-commerce business or just feeling and finding yourself as a designer and or businesswoman, badass businesswoman. When we introduced that word, badass business or man, it felt weird for me even to say it, but now we just say it and you feel like, and you embody it, right? You feel powerful and it's not just a hobby anymore. And when we say hobby, everyone thinks of, well, I'll speak for myself, but I think of like knitting or skiing or something like that, where it's just something that you do for fun. But now we really embrace it and we say to ourselves that this can be something. And now that we've created this community, when Elka started the Profit by Design Academy, but as Melissa mentioned, it was called the 7 Days to Success course. I think it was $30 or $47 or something way back when.
Little, yeah.
And it was 7 days to help you get to your success of a business, right? We showed you how
to get the Z rank at the time.
the Z rank, yeah, that was years ago, but it's transformed since then because we've realized that even though Elka knew that this needed to be a business, it's just even though the way we teach and the way that we interact and coach with our clients has transformed and morphed into something different because we want to help you. It's the reason why Elka created the course, and also I have been now a major part of the course, is to help you flourish, transform. I wanted to say butterfly, like metamorphosis, right? You've become something different than what you were at the beginning. And to see the possibilities, and everyone's eyes light up now and they say, oh yeah, I'm making this much money. Like Melissa, $700 in 10 years. And then all of a sudden with her experience in the Profit by Design Academy, she's now reached $15,000 in earnings, right? And if anyone who's on the Zazzle platform knows, that's 10% of what you've actually sold. So that's $150,000. Like think of it. And if you've reached a certain amount, like add 10% to, or take that and add 90% to it or whatever the math is. But just to think, imagine Melissa has created a business that has sold over $150,000 worth of product. Like that's mind blowing, right? And it's yours, it's your business and you should own it. And it feels really good to say that out loud, right? And
I feel really good about saying that. It's like, yes, this is my business. I do this. I create this.
yeah,
I am a businesswoman along with being an illustrator. Nice to meet you. One thing that I definitely say for people who are considering the Profit by Design Academy and are thinking things like, well, maybe I'll do it later, or saying you have small kids and you're thinking, well, you know, I don't quite have the time to do it now. I'd say really consider trying to have the time, because that's not going to be a block for you in this program. There are people in this program with little kids who run onto the screen in the middle of a Zoom call and look in. And there are mothers who are holding their babies while they're in the Zoom call, really just taking this business seriously for themselves and for their families. So that's not something that has to be a roadblock for you doing this. You would be welcomed in the program. You would be among not just like-minded people, but other mothers, other fathers who are building these businesses for themselves and for their families. So don't think that you have to wait until the kids are older or until something else happens. You can actually start this right now. It's not actually a block.
Yeah.
Yes. Can I also add something?
Yes.
I can't draw a straight line. I mean, I literally cannot draw a straight line. When I did my famous scalp ball, I have a friend who paints, and I asked her to do a pen and pencil sketch for me that I could then fill out on Photoshop. So the point is, there are, even if you have zero talent, which believe me, I wish I had, you know, with reading all the fine print, there are many places these days where you can buy graphics and do creative things with them. So Yes, a particular artistic skill is not, it's wonderful, but it is not absolutely required. I mean, if you're good at assemblage, that's good too.
May I come in there and just say, I didn't know I could paint watercolor until I started this. I didn't do it before, and I didn't know you could buy graphics.
Right.
So I started doing water. I just picked up a pen and a paintbrush, and I said to somebody, I feel like I have a knife and fork in my hand. It feels so uncomfortable. I don't know how to do this. But because I didn't know you could buy graphics, I just kept going. And it started to come. And it's also the encouragement I got from everybody else. They say, oh, that's really nice. And I think, oh, okay, maybe I should try another one. So there's that aspect too, that you don't know what you can do till you try.
I actually didn't realize, like, I know that, okay, either I've forgotten that or I didn't remember or realize, but I didn't know that you couldn't do watercolor, or didn't know that you could do watercolor before. Yeah, wow.
I'm still surprised every time I do something that sells.
Yeah. Isn't that wonderful?
No, yeah, Michelle, you have such beautiful designs that you've created. Yes, wow, that's amazing.
And some of our top sellers are not very creative either. So, and what was really important though to me is that even in the training that we have right now, and it'll get better as we keep adding more to it and building and growing the Profit by Design Academy. But for me, I'm always the person that also says, hey, but you know what, it's the artist, the photographer, the fine artist person that's struggling. And I want to be able to bring that person to the level that they can be more of a business person on their own and understand the marketing. And one of the things, and so we have training for that right in the, as bonus training within the Profit by Design Academy. The thing that people forget is that there's always a gift shop in every museum. And that says everything, right? Because it's not just the painting. It's when you leave the museum, you buy the tote bag, or you buy the scarf, or you buy the journal, or you buy the book with all the paintings in it. And so that is what Zazzle is for you. It's your gift shop. And also your ability to be exposed to more people around the world, because Zazzle's worldwide. So you can always have your fine art exposed on the Zazzle platform, but you can also have your gift shop. And it's really important to me that people understand that. Not everyone gets it. We've had some artists that have gone through and it's kind of like their brain is almost broken and we have to really be soft and gentle with them. But others understand it, and then a whole world opens up for them. That is so exciting for people that don't understand how to market their paintings and their fine art and their photography in a way that can give them extra dollars, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wanted to jump in on, there's a lovely lady who actually just joined the Profit by Design Academy, and she has come from another platform where you just put the artwork up on a product and that's sold as is, and she uses vintage graphics. And so coming to the Profit by Design Academy and also Zazzle, she is getting a lot of help with that transition, which Elka is sort of mentioning, where you have to think outside of the box to say, okay, there's this wonderful, beautiful piece of artwork, but how can I use it to entice a customer in and actually have it be uniquely theirs as well? Because Zazzle's platform is customization. They offer so many amazing tools for the customer to buy something that's uniquely for them, right? And as an artist, that transition is a little bit of a hard one if you're coming from other backgrounds where you're either doing licensing or just selling the design or artwork or photography as is. And so if you are also in that space, we're here to help you. And that's also where
branding your name,
where you're branding your name or your designs, or even if you're not artistic and you're actually taking vintage copyright free images, which she's actually doing, and using it as your fulfillment center or your brand, you're building this business up. And so having that conversation with her the other day was really interesting, because it's not that she doesn't understand or she can't conceptualize it. She's just never been exposed to it. So we are here to help you and her and everyone else understand and think outside the box. And that's where I love to be and like play. I create, and I can see smiles here. So I was like Michelle and Melissa and Lynn Marie, everybody, we have these wonderful like design parties, let's say, and we've done them in their masterminds. And then we have design sessions in the Profit by Design Academy where I just play and I have fun. And then it's really wonderful to see all the different creations and to have people see that their design, that they created one version and then have another version that's completely different, and still it's created from your original artwork, which is amazing. And just to have the possibilities. And so
To sell those things, yeah.
yeah, so it's wonderful for, I don't know, I'm just extremely happy. It's always wonderful to see everybody's happy faces and just be inspired to grow and to learn and absorb. And we always say to everyone, the more you put in, the more you get out of the program. And to have everyone here on Zoom with their cameras on and actually speaking,
on their own time,
on their own time and everything, it's just to see that like that transition of where before, like, we're breaking the barriers of Zazzle and being behind your computer screen. Everyone is always allowed to be an introvert and, close their computer and huddle up and play on Zazzle. But here's a community where you feel safe, where you feel supported, where you feel motivated and inspired with like-minded people. And everyone who's come into the Profit by Design Academy has had and felt that love, and that just that you're in the right place, you're in the right space to be your own person, right? And to flourish and be brought up by myself and Elka and Team Clark and everyone else around us in the community. So yeah,
we're very excited. And I'm just like sitting here like a proud mother hen going like this is like 5 years in the making, and we're getting here, and we're just so thrilled and excited to be able to touch so many lives throughout the world, and to have so many people model our behavior and now give back to others. So exciting. And so if you're on the fence about the Profit by Design Academy, come in and start your new journey that you may not have ever even dreamed is possible.
Yeah. So thank you so much, ladies, for being on with us. We really enjoyed your company. And oh, I'm frozen. I hope I'm not frozen. You're frozen? No? Okay. I froze for a second. So thank you so much for joining us. We're going to wrap up now, but have a wonderful day. And anyone here who's on Facebook on the version that we're watching live, watch. Team Clark has put in some links so that you can get some more information about the Profit by Design Academy. If you have any questions, you can always email us, and then we will all see you ladies tomorrow because we have our coaching session. So
thank you so much for being here and giving your personal journey and all the advice to others. It's very, very, we're very grateful for that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Lots of love. Bye.